Meow.
Meow. Meow.
Wow. Who is that? Is that a pussy I hear?
Well, baby, I'm purring
He's
because I'm
purring.
in my happy place. The
Dude, I
Think
can
Fresh
tell you've just been
podcasting
fed.
booth.
I can tell you've just been fed because you're purring like you just had 12 inches of sandwich go down
Mm.
your your beak.
uh, I did just eat. You probably can, yeah, it's funny, like, it's almost like a post-eat glow that people give off. It's like an energy that everyone exudes. Like, if you, all senses can be like refined, right? You can work on a sense, improve it, if you will. So
Hmm.
like the sense of understanding when somebody ate is something that we should like practice more, and then we'll be able to tell. And then maybe you'll be able to tell what they
Hmm.
ate.
That's true. I think that would help everyone in the profession. If someone is just like kind of standoffish or like defensive or just plain bitchy, you can
Mm-hmm.
be like, you can assess whether they've eaten or not. It's like, oh, you're just hungry. Like it just makes
Mm-hmm.
total sense. Like literally 9 out of 10 arguments I get in with my LP are like because one of us is hungry.
Straight up. And the other side of the coin is that if someone may be upset or like standoffish because they ate too much, or they ate something that didn't agree with their stomach, so they're grappling with the repercussions of maybe a bad meal decision.
Hmm. Yeah, they might say words like back off.
Hmm.
Those are kinds of things that people who ate too much would say.
Yeah, but what they're really trying to say is bad baloney in my stomach.
Hmm. Bunch of baloney, if you ask me.
There's a bunch of
Speaking of
baloney, Eric.
baloney, speaking of baloney tide, this weather we're having is absolutely atrocious. I mean, it's so dark outside. I think I like panic ate on my lunch today. I don't know if you felt the same, but I just like suddenly like hit a wall, and then I like reached into the fridge and I grabbed two old slices of Pizza Hut that have been there for 2 days, and I just
Oh,
like destroyed those like so quickly. And then now I feel okay. I had that plus some jalapeno chips, and you know what? I'm okay now. But I honestly, I would have stayed in the nutsack if I knew it was going to be days like this.
I'm gonna climb back into the womb because it'll be brighter than the sky outside. It
Yeah, I
does
know.
feel
At
like
least I can.
the dawn of a new ice age, Eric.
It does. It's so disgusting outside. And just as I say that, a nice little truck is pulled up to my window. So let me just go ahead and
Oh,
close the
jeez.
window.
Man versus environment, and environment is winning this time. Such a
Hmm.
shame. But that sounds like a really grotesque lunch, Eric. Like, how many days do you let the Pizza Hut slices simmer in on like the back of the fridge before you make
Mm.
the decision to either eat the forbidden leftovers or toss them in the bin?
No such thing as forbidden leftovers. You know, as long as like the grease, like the layer of grease, like on the bottom of each slice has like hardened so that it's like a solid. Like
Hmm.
that's as long as that is happening, that's you're good to eat it. Like, because you don't want to touch it and make
Right.
your hands all like wet. It has to be
Oh,
like nice solid piece of fat on the bottom, you know?
dude, unless your leftovers is soup, you don't like wet leftovers is disgusting. Like you like pull half a sandwich out of a Tupperware and like the bread is
Hmm.
moist. No,
Hmm.
I'm not about that.
Hmm. I was in such a panic that I didn't even like warm up the pizza.
Mm,
You know I'm like anti-microwave guy,
hmm,
so
hmm. Same,
like
same.
it takes me like 5 minutes to like warm up something. And yeah, I just went straight from Tupperware to mouth.
I, dude, I live in a post heated pizza society, because I also subscribe to the anti microwave philosophy with you. It's a total
Hmm.
headache to reheat leftovers. You gotta preheat the oven to 350. You gotta like pop her in, wait around, check it 6 times. It's still cold in the middle at the end. You're eating a cold slice of pizza either way.
It's like a big, energy waste to like
Hmm.
take up, to warm up the oven and like have like one slice of pizza in there that's like not even a good pizza to begin with. It's
Hmm.
like it's like warming up doesn't make it better
Hmm. It really doesn't. If like at best, it makes it the same.
at best.
At
There's a
best.
chance you
Now,
can burn it.
well, you and I are both adults. We have adult stomachs. So when we go to Subway, we consume the entire footlong in one sitting,
As you should.
as you should. But I'll admit something with you, Eric. I wasn't always that way. In my younger years, I may do sixer, quit at halftime, and come around for the other half later in the day.
Holy shit. How how could you? But
I know.
but more importantly, how do you do it? Like how the fuck are you gonna tell me that like you have this sandwich in your fridge with all these sauces just like congealing and like blending together and like
Mhm.
forming one ball of mush?
Well, this is the wackiest thing about Subway leftovers, and I'm gonna tell you a trade secret of Subway leftovers. Now, the
Okay.
trick, Eric, is you never refrigerate the sandwich. Doesn't matter if you're gonna wait 3 days or 3 hours. Never refrigerate it because when you have a lukewarm sandwich that's been sans refrigerator and you bite into it, the ingredients maintain a little bit of separation. They don't
Mm,
congeal too much. But as soon as that shit goes in the fridge and you close that door, they have a party. They're mixing and matching. It's like an orgy of them kind of blending together. So when you pull it back out, it doesn't matter how long it's been in there. It's this like really cold, sooty clump.
mhm,
It's disgusting. Even just thinking about biting it right now makes me gag a little.
mhm. Yeah, like once you close that refrigerator door, it's like, you know, nighttime in the forest. It's like you don't know what's going on in there. Like all the
Mm-hmm.
animals come out, all those baby hippopotamuses start crawling out and like eating the crumbs off of the bottom of your sandwich and
Mm-hmm.
who
Mm-hmm.
knows what else is going on in there. So yeah, I don't know how anyone could do that. But why did you stop? Like clearly you've like smartened up. Like what made you stop doing that? Did you have a bad sandwich?
Yeah, many bad sandwiches. I think fool me once, shame on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a few factors come together, Eric. One, I became an adult who can consume 12 inches in one sitting without
Hell yeah.
flinching. No, no
Hell yeah.
breaks.
Hmm.
The second one is I got my money up, so I didn't feel the need to stretch a meal out for 2 meals.
Hmm.
There's
You
like
hear that,
definitely like,
breadheads?
yeah, do you hear that? Like if you're stretching a sandwich out for 2 meals, a foot long, if you think that could be lunch and dinner, you gotta rethink your priorities here. Like go back to
Hmm.
school.
Yeah, exactly. Um, wow. Yeah, I've never once like left the sandwich for later, because you know I listened to your advice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ty, we met like much after you stopped doing that, so you taught me the ways.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The subways.
I did have it delivered, and that was a huge mistake. It was like the wettest like sandwich. It was like a cup of water. I thought I ordered a cup of water, Ty.
Dude, it's so weird. I get that. It's like it sucks up the moisture in the air. Like I guess it is. The bread is quite sponge-like. Like when you first take a bite of a fresh foot long at Subway, it's almost al dente. It's perfect. But then it becomes this
Oh.
soppy sub noodle the longer you wait. And it almost like swells a little bit, like some old woman's ankles. It's like really, it's really grotesque the way that a sandwich like I don't know, deteriorates over time. The other
Hmm.
crazy thing is like
Decomposes.
the wet. I think there's a positive feedback cycle happening with that decomposition because the wetter it gets, the more it bloats, the like almost like faster it breaks down, and then it like attracts more moisture. Like if California wanted to
I
solve their
guess
drought,
so.
they should just line a bunch of footlongs up in like the bottom of their riverbeds.
Wow, I literally just puked in my mouth a little bit hearing that. Um, shit, dude. I think actually, now that I think about it, I literally finished eating it like half an hour ago, and I ate it in like 15 seconds. So I'm starting to feel the effects of that, Ty. I'm not gonna lie with you. But um, speaking of
You know
pizza,
what?
though,
Oh yeah, yeah, hit me. I got a pizza related qualm as well.
Quam, let's hear it.
Yo, every time I order pizza, I just like rip off the order. I'm like so fast on it, right? I throw my phone number. If I do this like the old-fashioned way of calling in, I rip off my phone number, rip off the order, and then there's just like always this like weird pause where and then the person on the other side of the call line, they quiet for a minute, and then they say, "Sorry, what crust do you want that on?" And I'm like, "Oh, damn it." It means that everything I said didn't matter because they got held up on the crust question, and they need that to proceed forward. It's their like, what bread? That's what the the
Wow.
equivalent is, right? And you can't move forward in like whatever the Domino's order builder until you resolve that attribute of the pizza. So I
Mhm.
always forget that. I always forget that because then I wasted my time. I wasted their time reading the exact specific meat-free pepperoni and a pineapple pizza that I wanted, and I have to go back to square one to the bread
I
every
think we
time,
should
every
try
pizza
this.
place.
We should try this at Subway. Like try ordering our sandwich backwards and just like watch them try to do it from memory. Like yeah, can I get the lettuce, jalapeno, spinach, tomato, onion sandwich with some BMT meats and throw that on a herbs and cheese footlong and just like watch them
Mhm.
like try to do that from memory. Maybe you could
Mhm.
start with the salt and pepper. Like salt and pepper, the sauce, and then the veggies. Heck,
Mhm.
even get the cookie first.
I feel like if you wanna, like, pull that off, you have to completely reject the lineup, like, reject
Oh,
convention.
100%.
I think you come in right at the there's always a crease in the glass. There's, like, a midfield, like, black plastic connector between the 2 worlds of the footlong. You have meat world and then you have veggie world, 2 sides of the same coin.
It's
The
two
glass
sides of
is
this
connected.
podcast.
Yep, it truly is. And that partition, I think you gotta walk right up to that partition because you don't wanna
Hmm.
acknowledge any one domain of the sandwich universe.
I mean, that's pretty smart. Yeah, you're right in like just the break in the void, in
Mhm,
between two universes. You're truly in no man's land.
mhm.
Um,
The
I was thinking
purgatory of
like
sandwich making.
exactly Dawn FM. Um,
Mhm.
I were to just
Holy
stand in
shit.
line like everyone else and like shoot from the 3 point line, be like, "Yo, I'll
Mhm.
take that sauce," and just like point arbitrarily at like the group of sauces, and just like kind of be like really vague with it. Like, "Yeah, I'll get that and that," and then they're like, "No, no, no, what bread?" And you say lettuce.
Damn, I don't know why I'm so pressed up against the glass now that I think about it. Like, that's so neurotic of me. I should take a few steps back and lob some, like, just like 3 pointers, as you're saying. I want a long distance relationship with my sandwich artist. A foot long
Hmm.
distance relationship.
Absolutely, a safe six.
Mhm. Safe 6 inch.
Wow, it's crazy that we started this shit in the pandemic because it's all we know, dude.
Mhm. It's the only life at Subway we know post podcast.
The lost episode 2 of this podcast is us. Well, actually, just me going to a Subway and observing the branding and the pandemic safety regulations. And let me tell you, the audio was pretty trash.
So we got that one locked up in the Disney Vault. We'll
Yeah,
not be seeing that
Disney
until we release
Vault.
our streaming service
Hmm.
sometime next year.
It's Exhibit A, can't be released. Um, Ty, me and you linked a build yesterday, and it was a movie. It was a lot of fun. We did a lot of shit. Do you want to talk about that now?
Yeah, I want to talk about that, but first I want to tell you about this canned beverage I'm drinking.
Oh, fuck.
I've been so inspired by you lately, Eric, and this kind of ongoing theme of like canned food renaissance at Whole Foods. So I swung by there the other day and I picked up this sparkling clementine naturally fermented with probiotic sparkling drink. It's vegan and it has like a rock star icon on it. It's by a brand called Loop. Have you tried this one yet?
Oh, I've heard the brand. They started with
Mm,
the juice, and then I guess they graduated to can the juice.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have more than 2 billion gut-friendly bacteria in this little tiny can. And that's pretty
It's pretty
exciting
good.
for me because I'm trying to build up my immunity for my eventual like takedown from the novel coronavirus. My days are numbered.
That's true. We're basically playing a risky game at this point in time. Neither of us have contracted the novel disease, but I think it's probably likely that it'll happen at some point. Who knows? Maybe we did, and we just don't know. I think about that a lot.
Alpha immune systems like us, Eric, they're it wouldn't be uncharacteristic to be asymptomatic,
Hmm,
but
that's true.
nonetheless, get your gut health up.
Yeah,
You
get your
don't want
gut
a
up a
lean
little bit.
gut. You want a loop gut.
Yeah. That's a great new marketing campaign for
Mm-hmm.
the hashtag loop, hashtag free YSL campaign.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome to hear. I love that you're embracing unpretentious cocktails and drinks in cans because, it was just yesterday you were trying to take me to grapes and soda, which I just refuse to go to based on the name alone. Like that sounds like a cocktail bar where you get like fucking mixologists nerding out over like what like bitters you're using. Like, ooh, I got these
Ooh,
bitters from
bitters.
Denmark. Bitters. Like, shut the
Ooh.
fuck up, dude. Like, we don't care. Like, give me a fucking canned beer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just open the bottle for me. That's all I'm hiring you to do. What an insult
Exactly.
to a so-called mixologist.
Yeah, dude. What a joke, like job title.
I mean, I
That's the one frontline worker that I did not feel bad for this pandemic.
I think the problem with like all genres of food is that people get too into it. They get too specific, and it's usually in the
Yeah, dude.
fluid industry. I don't know why the solid industry, the solids, is
Oh,
has doesn't have the same degree of nerds. Like it's almost like if you're really good at
there
cooking
it is.
food, like a specialty of food, you're not a nerd though. You're like a celebrated chef. But as soon as you're like specialized in fluid, you become kind of dorky.
Mm, I guess so. Or maybe just like being really passionate about something that is like whack, or like you're trying to make something that's like whack into something that's like celebrated. Like that's really corny. Like
Hmm.
all actors. It's like why did we like go from like bullying drama kids to like loving like Johnny Depp? You know what I mean? Like where
Hmm.
did that transition happen? Like
It's
being
the vibe
passionate about
shift,
like
Eric.
acting. I think being passionate about acting and mixology are both like the two worst passions.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know, man, but I feel like acting. The thing with acting is you're just like you're obsessed with playing pretend. That's kind of a weird
Hmm.
a weird concept to just like I love pretend so much. I made it my career.
Hmm.
You're like,
Yeah.
you're like in the same camp as like magicians.
Yeah. But you ever like talk to like people who admire actors or like acting in general who are like it's like wow, like um Winona Ryder's performance was stellar. It's like what the fuck are you talking about?
They're like, wow, do
Like
you
it's not a
see?
performance.
It's so weird. Like, yeah, they'd be like, oh, DiCaprio deserves the award this year. He acted better than everyone else.
Yeah.
And you're like, what, by what grounds? Like, did he
Hmm.
do that? Did he like did he furrow his brow more when he was unhappy? Did he shout louder when he was excited?
He shouted just the right amount, Ty, and that's what you'll never understand.
Well, I'm not like I am no actor, Eric. I'm not part of any local theater groups, nor am I am a fluid connoisseur, but I am no sommelier. I think that Subway could though benefit from it, like an in-house sauce sommelier. I think we both know that the sauces are the heart of the sandwich. They're where the punch comes in. They bring the salt, fat, acid, and heat, baby. And having a little bit more quality assurance and sensitivity to the great power that those plastic squeeze bottles hold, it would be nice. I think it could level up the footlong.
I mean, Ty, I'm all down for like diversity and inclusion, and I respect that you're bringing this up, but I don't
Dude,
understand
a
like,
sommelier is not a DNI hire.
dude, what are you talking about? Why are you specifically targeting Somalians for this role? Like, I don't understand why you need to hire a Somalian. Why can't you
Fair
just
enough.
hire some like anyone?
You're right. We should be looking at who has the best skill set.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think
Hmm.
Somalians even eat sandwiches.
No, I don't know what they eat, but it's probably not 12 inches. They probably have a way more like humble diet.
Hmm. Speaking of a humble diet, Ty, we linked and billed over some happy hour wings yesterday.
Mhm. Mhm.
They were like a 4 out of 10. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie. I ate Ty's portion because he's a veg. He's a soy boy.
Mhm.
Possible. And
I'm proud of who I am.
I after I wined and dined Ty, I took him back to my place and I made him a nice little espresso martini.
Yeah, Eric kills
And
it with the espresso martini. If the breadheads ever need one, ready, locked and loaded, ready to go, open bar in the
hmm
kitchen, chefing it up.
hmm
He is
Yep,
the
I got
mixologist.
my
You were mixologist last night.
yeah.
For how much you were just dunking on them, you played the mixologist game. You pretended. You were both an actor and a mixologist.
Dude, I don't act. Everything I do is 100% authentic, and I never said that making a drink was whack. I just think like caring too much about anything is whack. Like, why does it matter? You know what I'm saying? Like, you enjoy the cocktail.
Mm.
Like, you don't care about like the ratio of Kahlua to Grey Goose or to Malibu. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's all the same shit. As long as it tastes good and gets you wired and fired up, then
Mm.
it's all good. Just enough
And it
for
did
us
that
to
job, dude.
yeah, dude, the way you locked in on our tennis game after, like I knew I might have given you maybe too much coffee because
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
you beat my ass once again, Ty, and I'm
Hell
like
yeah.
I didn't sleep last night, just so you know.
Oh, I wouldn't sleep either. I was so yoked walking on that tennis court. Eric and I played a proper tennis match. The only thing improper about it was I had no shoes on, no shirt on, and I still whooped your butt
In the rain.
in the rain.
Fuck,
But it was a
damn,
solid match. One for the books.
it was. I mean, I'm gonna need a rematch, Ty, on next Tuesday. I think we're gonna have to do it all over again. Martinis,
Yeah.
and then tennis because I need to, I didn't have my Nike Dry Fit on, and I think that's the real reason I lost. Not that I need the clothing per se. It's just that I'm
Hmm.
used to being, you know, wearing. I'm used to wearing pro gear when I perform, and I was
I
wearing
could
my
see how that could
designer.
throw you off. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wearing my designer that night, so it was a bit hard to get into the game.
Yeah, I totally get that. And I don't think you perform as well after consuming alcohol, perhaps a sober game. I think you had a little bit of a, what do they call it? Whiskey racket.
I know I couldn't get my racket hard all game, dude. Like,
No, dude. Just a limp wrist.
damn, it was like it's much smaller than I remember too. Like for some reason, it was just hitting it kept hitting the edge of the racket, and I'm like, why isn't this thing like as big as it usually is?
It's okay. It happens to everybody. Maybe you were just nervous.
Probably it probably was. I couldn't get it hard because you were just like across the court from me, shirtless and
Mm-hmm.
soaked from the rain. So I was just like a little bit
Mm-hmm.
distracted. But maybe that's all part of your
Yeah,
strategy, Ty.
totally. Dude, I felt like I looked like how Rick Owens looks all the time on that side of the court, just like drenched in rain, shirt off, like
Hmm.
barefoot, happy.
Yeah, his
Sto-
hair always looks like a little bit red, like wet.
Like it makes me really question. Like I know he smells great, but he doesn't look like he smells great sometimes.
I don't know, Ty. I think I disagree. I think he looks like he smells like perfect
Mm.
and just like shredded. Like I just know he's shredded. You know what I mean? I
Oh
don't think I've
yeah,
seen
dude.
him shirtless, but I can imagine.
Well, he's got that V-neck that goes all the way down to his testes, so you've seen enough.
That's true. That's all I need to see, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also, in addition to tennis, Ty and I had a nice little natty wine activation, and we split a little margarita pizza. That was a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing like pizza and natty wine to like round out a perfect evening. Like,
Mm.
you know how to wine me and dine me, baby.
Dude, I wine and dine Ty so hard that I even let him win at tennis.
It's really a step up from the like veggie patty and Gatorade that I'm used to you treating me to.
Oh shit. It's like a fucking salt overload if you have those two things. Damn.
Hmm.
Speaking of long and hard.
This is what I love about like classic like Neapolitan pizza though, like a proper like Italian pie. You know what they never ask you? They never say what crust.
Yeah,
They
dude.
don't.
But I want the crust. Give me the herbs and cheese.
I don't know if it's like an American thing or a like fast food motif to like add an element of customization to every aspect of the order.
Hmm.
Maybe a mix of both. But like, what was the last time you like went to a pizza place and you didn't fully customize your pie, like a
I
fast food pizza?
never get pizza that allows for customization. Like I
Good
never
on
do
you.
that. I only get pizza that is like, substitutions politely declined. Like that's what I want to see at the bottom of the menu, you know? That's a
Mm-hmm.
signal that you're in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
I even talked about the last pizza I ordered on this podcast, Ty. It was the
That's right.
capricciosa from Pepinos, and it was probably
That's a
the
good
top
point.
pizza, probably like top three pizzas I've ever had in Canada.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. And I think you're making the right call by like sticking specifically like to like mid to top tier pizza restaurants and avoiding like the lame. I don't know how you acquired this Pizza Hut pizza. You don't need to share. It's okay. You can keep your little secret. But I think you're smart to steer clear of that genre of delivery.
It was brought to my home. I didn't pay for it. I didn't order it. I didn't ask for it. It was just brought to me, and that's fine.
You ever with like a group of friends or like family, and they're like, "We should have a pizza night, but like make your own pizzas," and then
All
you
the
get like
time.
some grocery store crust, and everyone puts every topping on it, and you all make
Hmm.
these like 6-inch like whack ass pies.
What's your point?
Well, that's really fun to do, and there's like a bonding element and like opportunity to like showcase your personality through the pizza. But fast food pizza has maybe over indexed on delivery, removing you
Mm,
from the actual pizza making process. But if there was a fast food pizza chain that was willing to take that humble and charming pizza making process that you know with Nona at home and combine that with the scalable business model of Subway, we could have a new pizza player on the block. Like Chipotle pulled it off for Mexican, but no one's trying it for Italian.
mm. I think it all kind of breaks down with one thing, Ty, and that's the bread versus crust.
Mm,
Bread you can bake and then you can leave it there. The crust you have to bake it with the pizza. And so like you'd have to bake the pizza every time a customer comes in, which takes forever, and therefore it's not fast. Like the reason why fresh slice is fast is because the pizza's made. Like you're choosing from like pizza that already exists. You know what I mean? Versus like Subway, you're choosing a sandwich that doesn't exist yet.
I disagree, dude. Like I've followed the Domino pizza tracker second to second before, and like Steven pops it in the oven, and it's like 6 minutes. It's in Noah's Honda Civic heading to my apartment. So
Fuck.
that's pretty fast. I would be willing to wait 6 minutes for my perfectly customized pizza on the spot. I get to assess which veggies and salamis are look the freshest that day. Watch them toss the pie in front of me. That would be a really fun piece of entertainment.
Pie tossers. Why is it
Mm-hmm.
that Little Caesars was like going so hard with their hot and ready program? Like, was it just sitting in an oven, like a really low temperature oven, and it's just like you go and it's like hot and ready, you know what I mean? Or like, do they just like make it really fast or something? Like, what is hot and ready, Ty?
I don't know, man. It was so convenient. I was a little bit put off by it, so I don't
Hmm.
dabble.
Yeah, I mean, I had no issues with it when I was in high school, and you could go and get it for $5, like a whole
Mm-hmm.
pizza for $5. That was
That's wild.
crazy.
That
Inflation's
is
crazy,
crazy,
bro. Like,
dude.
when like old people are like, "Oh yeah, I used back in my day, I could get a steak for like 15 cents." And you're like, "There's no
Mm-hmm.
fucking way that's true." And then realizing as I get older, I'm like, that's actually true. Like, we used to be able to eat pizza for $5, like a whole pizza, or footlong for $5. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, it's so crazy now. Like, I bought a tomato. You just buy like one heirloom tomato, and it's like $4. And you're like, I'm only gonna eat
Hmm.
half of this and let the other half mold in my fridge before I throw it out. So really, It costs
It's just for
$4 for half a
$8.
tomato. Yeah, eight
Wow.
$8 for one full tomato.
Yeah. Wow, that's
I
unbelievable.
I
Like,
guess I guess Subway's like a breath of fresh air in that sense, or a breath of fresh vegetables because they're always unlimited. You know, they haven't capped you yet. The day we will know that inflation is really here, the day they cap vegetable ads.
mhm. Well, according to Elon Musk, Ty, the impending recession is here, and I think we can count on it happening this year, to be honest. Like, Subway will limit the number of lettuce strands that you can
Hmm.
add to your sandwich, and I mean, when you ask for like, more black olives, they're just gonna say no.
They're not going to say no. They're going to say that'll be an initial $1.99 charge. It's the same as pizza. They always like at pizza places. They always say first three toppings are on the house, baby, mi casa. But beyond
Hmm.
that, you're paying out of pocket. And if Subway takes that path, I will be very unhappy. But I can't see it going any other way. Nothing this good can stick around forever.
Hmm.
Unlimited vegetables, Eric. Unlimited.
Holy
Let that
shit.
sink into your chompers. Let your chompers sink into that.
Wow. I wonder if there's like some like way to hack that and be like, yo, can you just like put the extra ones like in the bag for me? Just get like a bag of lettuce.
That's
Just bring it
brilliant.
home
Like
and make a salad.
it's like $6.99 for a bag of shredders at the grocery store, but they have bags and they have shredders, and
They
it's
have
free
bags
because you've
and
already paid.
unlimited shredders.
Yeah, you paid the cover already. You paid the cover charge. You're in the club. You should get that shit.
Hmm. Wow.
Huh?
It's been an eye-opening episode.
It really has been.
Wow. What else do we have to talk about, Ty? I mean, there's a lot of tea spilt during our hang, but none of which can be repeated here.
Hmm. Yeah, that stays behind closed doors. But yeah, I
Hmm.
don't know. I'm
That
just really
stays on the
happy.
patio at Thank You Pizza.
Yeah, what happens there stays there.
Hmm.
Nah, King, I'm happy. I had a really nice brunch this morning. I'm trying to like reduce my consumption of gluten because I think it's giving me stomach aches, but I'm not sure. I've had like such a like
Mm.
ridiculous gluten intake diet my whole life that I've never really questioned it. But then when I did that juice cleanse a few weeks ago, it made me realize like I feel great and maybe there's something that I'm eating and it could be all the beer, like it could just be like six IPAs a week, but I don't know. I was like
I mean,
trying to like cut her back.
I don't know, Ty. Like it's funny like the psychological effect that a juice cleanse has on you because you've clearly already forgotten the pain that you were in for that whole like 3 days because I remember that episode, Ty. You looked pale, you were like curled up on your couch, like shriveling, like you're just like
Mm,
you're so cold and you were like, oh, like is this episode over yet? I'm starving. And
yeah.
you immediately after that episode you broke your fast and you went for sushi. So I don't know, Ty, are you lying to the breadheads?
Oh, you're right, Eric. You're right. I think what I just fell for was the psychological principle known as the peak end rule, where you only
Mm-hmm.
remember the best feeling and then the last feeling of any
Mm.
experience. So at
So,
Subway, that would probably be the first bite and the last bite.
wow, fucking fantastic poetry. Wow.
So if you think about that, actually, if we double click into that,
Please.
as a sandwich artist, you should be really optimizing the tips of the footlong for the peak end rule. Like anything that happens in the middle of the sandwich, you can phone it in, but you really got to get those tips right. Just the tip.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that matters.
But Ty, the sandwich is a game split into two halves, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have two beginnings and two ends. You got four tips.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
you gotta make sure that the middle of the sandwich is actually crafted to perfection, as well as the ends, because like that's where you slice and that's where you get a nice little cross section of the
Mm-hmm.
sandwich. So maybe over index the meats towards the middle so that it looks like the whole thing is kind of stuffed to the brim. Those
Pump
those
that
kinds of
baby
tricks.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you gotta really employ your food styling skills at this point in the
Mm-hmm.
game.
I didn't really consider the cross section, Eric, because I subconsciously use that cross section to evaluate the integrity of my sandwich before I bite.
Hmm.
You kind of you like look for every single thing you ordered delicately
Hmm.
placed in a stack,
Hmm.
and
You just look at it.
if it looks messy, yeah, you eat with your eyes first.
You just look at that thing right in front of you, and you're just like, "Fuck yeah!" Like I'm about to get in on this. Like it's
I
just like
love that,
the best feeling ever. Wow.
dude. You when you like you could like bite it right away. You could like pick up the foot long. You could grab 6 inches and just like go straight for the muzzle, right? But you always
Hmm.
stop and you just take a moment, a sweet, sweet moment to appreciate that cross section. I do it every time. I don't even do it consciously.
You know what, Ty? I think on Tuesday when we hit our little rematch, just like every athlete, we should be fueling with Subway, because you know we're not gonna have a company sponsored happy hour.
Hmm.
So I think we should go straight for the way and maybe get a couple sixes or 12s, and
Hmm.
yeah, just get some carbs and protein in us to fuel us for a long 4 hour game of tennis. What say you?
Yeah, dude. I'm all about a keto diet when it's time to like really push my body.
Hell yeah.
Push and
I
be.
cannot wait. Pushing B, dude. We're pushing inches on this side. And
Hell yeah, brother.
let me tell you, it's not easy.
Mm-mm. The life of a podcast host. Life was never
Yeah, I know.
easy.
Hmm.
Well, I'm looking forward to the game that we play next week. And I enjoyed our match last night, Eric. And I enjoyed podcasting with you today, but I think I'm going to call there because I need to go get a coffee.
Wow, so do I. I feel tired. It looks like the rain has
Hmm.
stopped over here in beautiful Vancouver, BC. So I'm gonna step outside and maybe go for a little walk skis. And who knows, maybe
Hmm.
collect a coffee elsewhere,
Yeah,
featuring some local Chinatown businesses.
I'm feeling the same way, Eric. I'm going to crawl out from my Patrick Star Rock and wet my dries, both my palette and my designer.
Referring to clothing as just designer is so funny
Yeah,
because it's like
we live in a post apparel world.
post apparel, post name, post credit world. It's like doesn't I don't
Post
give a fuck who made
apocalyptic,
this.
maybe.
It's all about just it being expensive.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if I'm talking about clothes. Like I'm gonna hop in my designer and drive to my designer. I was gonna say a store, but it doesn't matter.
Hmm. I thought you meant a designer coffee shop, and that got me thinking about like, what does designer coffee look like? Is that the Saint Laurent cafe in Paris? Is it the Cafe V in Osaka? We'll never know.
Dude, I don't think you can like hate on mixologists and love designer coffee. I think they're two sides of the two sides of the same espresso cup.
Don't get me wrong, hating like being obsessed with like the bean, being bean obsessed
Hmm.
is super corny. And like caring about like your pour over technique and like
Hmm.
frothing the milk perfectly, like fuck all that. You know what I mean? I just want like a cool branded logo on my, you know, wasteful, and
Hmm.
that's all I want. Like I don't even
I
care what's in the cup.
I get you, man. Like you can serve me on the planet as long as you make the interior in which I consume it really like easy on the eyes or like poetic
Hmm.
or just like some nice designer furniture and good lighting, and I'll
Hmm.
give you a glowing review on Yelp.
Hmm. I just want to walk in and have Francois, pour me a nice little espresso shot over ice, and just that's when I'll leave my $8 tip.
Dude, if I was a full-time barista, shout out to the baristas listening, I would seriously consider officially changing my name to a more French name because it
Hmm.
probably would improve the quality of your coffee to have like on your little Starbucks name tag, like, hello, my name is Stephane instead of Steven, you know?
I know. I would just change my name to Jacques Mou.
Jiangmu, yeah, that would land.
That would land. Wow. All right, Ty. I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode so I can go collect my designer coffee. Uh,
Hmm.
it's nice chatting with you. See you IRL on Tuesday, and maybe we can record. Who knows?
Hell yeah, brother. And thanks to the Breadheads for listening yet again. Think Fresh Podcast, Ty and Eric. We're your hosts. We're here twice a week. in your earphones. Are they wired? They might be wired. That's too bad. Think fresh, everybody.
Yeah, you guys look like the type to like listen on your phone speaker on the bus.
Think they just don't even own headphones.
Mm-hmm. All right. Take care, guys.
Ciao.